Well, hello, Peege here. So we hear from a lot of different sources trying to blame the coming economic crash on certain things. So you hear people blaming obesity pandemic and fast foods, processed foods. You hear people blaming the growing Alzheimer's pandemic and how much that's going to cost, the growing debt crisis and how that bubble's going to blow up soon. And those all seem to be valid arguments, and I think a lot of them are actually true. Those can all be huge contributors. But you know, there's a common thread through all of them, and a common root cause of all of those. And in my opinion, I think that common root cause is our growing inability for delayed gratification. I'm sure you are aware how our society is now programming us to expect and look for instant gratification. Any kind of gratification or reward triggers the release of dopamine. And dopamine is a very powerful chemical in the brain, like a drug, that we can become addicted to. And once we do become addicted to that, we're just looking for our next hit, like any other drug addict. What scientists have found recently is the anticipation of a reward pumps out even more dopamine in the brain than the reward itself. And the Facebook people and the online advertisers and the web pages that have the ads on the sides blinking and trying to get your attention all know that. And so in essence, all those things are being engineered for your dopamine addiction. And there's another thing called intermittent rewards, where the brain is specifically wired to enjoy occasional rewards that are unexpected, intermittent, instead of a constant reward every time, where the brain kind of gets bored of that because there's 100% expectation that is developed. So intermittent rewards are more powerful than consistent rewards, where you get something every time. And this is what a good dog trainer will teach you, is don't give the dog a treat every time they do something good that you want them to do when you're training them. Give them a treat every once in a while, and a pat on the head between times or something else, or maybe nothing. Just like, good job, something like that. So it's inconsistent, but the good, really good, great reward, they get occasionally. Because remember, they're going to pump out more dopamine in the anticipation of the reward than when they get the actual reward, which also pumps out dopamine, but not as much as the anticipation part. This is classic for gamblers too. When a gambler finally hits that big jackpot, they're back to gambling, sometimes within hours, because what their brain is really looking for is the anticipation of reward. So in our modern society, with all these algorithms to prey on that whole mechanism, what we end up with is diverted attention here and there. We're looking for intermittent rewards. All the screens that we're looking at are designed for that, and the games that we're playing. And so our brain is just going here and there. Where's my next reward? It's not here immediately? Well, let me go over here immediately. And when we're being programmed for instant gratification, we are necessarily, at the same time, being deprogrammed for delayed gratification. A lot of people blame our millennial generation for being horrible at this, but they're just the same victim as everybody else. It's just that they are in the generation that has grown up with this. They've had it all their lives, where the rest of us didn't. And so we do have more ability, a better ability for delayed gratification. And so that's what I think is bankrupting our society, is the instant gratification that everybody needs and is programmed for now, and then the loss of the ability for delayed gratification. Perfect example of delayed gratification, if you don't know what that is, would be saving the best thing on your dinner plate for last. This is why people have so much trouble investing now for their future. They just want to spend their money now to get that instant gratification. And it's so hard to put it away. And this is why the debt crisis is happening. Because if they don't have money to spend right now, well, then they'll use their credit card to spend right now and get that instant gratification. This is a huge part of the obesity pandemic too, because people want to eat that food now instead of stop and think, what's healthy for me? Let me go to my kitchen, let me prepare real food for myself and have it a little bit later. Or with Alzheimer's, I don't want to do the things that are going to stave off Alzheimer's or even reverse it, like another post that I created to help people know the 5 best things to reverse Alzheimer's if you have it. Those are all things that a person really good in the art and skill of delayed gratification would be able to do. But people who are wired for instant gratification would have a hard time doing all 5 of those things. And until we get better at delayed gratification by doing specific exercises and working out that muscle, because it is a muscle, and then get away from this instant gratification movement that we have right now, we're going to have lots of problems. And I've got some brain turning exercises to help develop delayed gratification. And if you go to beegeandpeege.com, you'll see the button to take the brain type test to get your customized brain training exercises specifically selected for your brain type. So they'll be easier for you and the ones you specifically need for your particular brain type. So let's get that skill back for delayed gratification. And let's save ourselves and our country. Okay, bye-bye.
And that's all I have to say about that.